Hello and welcome to The Hard Way on WrestlingRingPost.com. And breaking news is that Brock Lesnar is back in the WWE. Come on, you should high five me. Oh, he's only in WWE 12 apparently?
Yeah.
I guess, that's cool, but it's not that big of a deal. Later tonight is the Bound for Glory Bound for Glory? Is that the pay-per-view tonight? I always get them confused. Could be hard resolution.
It's the least gay porn sounding pay-per-view they have all
It's got
year.
the word bound in it. I don't know if that can be. I don't know if that can't be gay. So we're going to cover that today. There's a couple other news that have happened, and of course we'll get to our top 5 at the end of this video. So let's just go on right into the Bound for Glory.
Well, first the Lesnar thing. I found it weird that they talked about UFC put up a whole statement saying that they allowed Lesnar to be in the game, but he has to be listed as a wrestler, not an MMA guy. But they put the Lesnar with the tattoo on his chest, which he never had in WWE.
Right. And
then there was an interview with Lesnar right after they put that up, where they asked him if he would ever consider going back to WWE, and he said if the money was right and it benefited everybody, he would do it.
Yeah, I agree. I just can't believe that he has the tattoo. It's kind of dumb. I don't know. Technically he wrestled with the tattoo. He wrestled in New Japan.
Well, yeah, but
not in WWE. No. But
and it is called WB12, not.
It's just kind of. I can see why they're letting him do it, just because it's like promotion. Because I was reading to one of the people I read, they have a column, and he was saying that a lot of the newer fans don't even know he was a wrestler. Think he's been gone since WrestleMania 20. That was the last match, him and Goldberg, with Austin as the ref. So a lot of people kids they've heard of Brock Lesnar. Obviously, a lot of people have, but they never maybe knew he never wrestled. That's the idea.
The other thing that's weird is they were saying that they don't want the MMA stuff, but in the trailer, when they show Lesnar, they show the death clutch, and they show all this MMA stuff, but they say that they don't want that to be part of it.
I know.
And I think the whole UFC putting out the statement with saying Lesnar will never come back to wrestling is because he's their top draw, and they're so afraid of losing him.
Right.
That they're trying to be like, no, he'll never leave and go back to wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know. Heyman's pulling the strings behind the scenes apparently a lot still with him.
Well, when I saw the trailer for the first time, it was on Heyman
Hustle. Yep. Yeah, that's where I saw it, heard about it originally too. I think that Heyman is maybe teasing a WWE return. The funny thing is, I don't know if he could even do that schedule, even if he does a part-time schedule, because he can't even do one match in UFC. Granted, one match in UFC is a little more strenuous than one WWE match, but if you do 6 WWE matches a week, whole year, that's impossible.
But you also have to look at, with the UFC thing, the reason he hasn't been able to do them is because of injuries.
That's what I'm saying. He won't be able to stay around long enough to even be in there more than a month.
But you're looking
at
him doing a real fight, and how long can you actually do that for so many years, as opposed to something that's choreographed with very few injuries compared to an actual sport.
Yeah, it's cool to see him in it. Be cool if they do some other interesting legends that maybe haven't been in a WWE game before, or haven't been one in a while.
The Legion of Doom, Demolition, I know those.
They're in it. Vader's in it. Lawler's DLC. I don't know if they've announced anyone else legend-wise, but
I know Arn Anderson's in it.
Oh, that's right. Arn Anderson is in it. So yeah, it'd be cool if they did some divas even like Trish Stratus should probably be in it. Yeah, because they haven't been in many games
There's
recently.
There's only 2 divas to worry about.
I could see them putting Stacey Keebler or something like that in it though. She's dating George Clooney. She's kind of in the news now.
You could create George Clooney and have
lead
him out to the ring.
Now, for you having a bra and panties match.
Her and Clooney?
It'd be like a recreation of real life. So let's go on to the Bound for Glory. I know that I don't think either one of us are gonna try to watch it. I can't lie when I say
for free.
I can't lie when I say that I don't have interest in seeing Hogan and Sting for morbid curiosity reasons.
Okay. Which is interesting there. Hogan did an interview, and he said he's not wrestling Sting, it's a fight.
Yeah, he said that. Well, I happened to catch him on SportsCenter, and he said something like that, and he was saying that he is not going to take bumps. He pretty much flat out said that. Everyone knows that Hogan really can't take a bump without his back shattering into 8 pieces now.
He can't get out of the shower without hurting his knee.
So I'm actually now wondering if the guy he was talking to on there was like a big Hogan fan, and he might have accidentally said that when he wasn't supposed to. And maybe it's just going to be like soon as like Hogan's in the ring or Sting's in the ring, whoever's in there first, and they come down, they just beat the crap out of each other, and the whole match is them pretty much doing it. And Sting is going to look like Shawn Michaels in that Hogan match you're talking about on the last episode, where he's just flipping around because he has to, because Hogan can't be doing anything.
Well, first off, it's TNA, and they don't know how to end a match legitly. So, as far as we know, Hogan could come out, the Joker could come out, and then they could bring out every Hogan friend ever, Brutus Beefcake, the Nasty Boys,
yeah,
all these out-of-work guys.
The midgets from Micro Championship Wrestling.
Everybody could get in the ring and attack Sting, and Sting's fighting all them off, and then Hogan, hits his leg drop, brother. But, anything can happen.
I don't think he can hit the leg drop. I think he's in that bad of shape.
Linda could come in and help out Sting. Anything.
Oh gosh!
Anything can happen. It's TNA.
That's not a good thing, though. It's not anything can. No. They're not the good. Anything can happen. It's the bad. Anything can happen.
When you have Vince Russo as a writer, you have Bischoff there, you have Hogan there. I mean, David Arquette could come out and legitimately pin Sting and win the match. Anything could happen.
Yeah. Oh,
not in a good way.
If you were to pick one of them to win, now that doesn't mean that includes screw jobs and all that. If they do say there's a winner, not a no DQ, which would be a complete screw job to the fans that actually paid to watch it, because they have been building it up. But who do you think's gonna win?
If it was a legit win, obviously the Joker. If
he has more to gain.
Yeah, and if it's a screw job, then it's gonna be Hogan.
I guess it depends on if they want to keep doing this stupid feud between the two, anyways.
As far as I know, this is it. It was a big build-up.
That's what it seems like. The other matches on it, I know on Facebook it said that the Mexican Americans were versing Ink Inc. like anyone cares.
And it's a World Tag match.
Yeah,
why
tag
would
team
you have your World Tag Team match not be on the pay-per-view when there's other matches?
That's because you got Jerry Lynn versus RVD for the Full Metal Mayhem like the 80th time. Who cares?
It's not ECW. There's not going to be weapons.
Oh, no, there'll be weapons. It's Full Metal Mayhem. That's the idea. Weapons around. Hey, who cares? Even then, the guys are way older than they used to be. And we've seen that match.
They're way older than they used to be. I think that works for
Mr. Obvious coming in. Falls count anywhere between Bully Ray and Mr. Anderson. Like Bully Ray.
It's in Philadelphia, so does that, if Falls count mean anywhere, does that mean that he can drag him to the ECW arena?
No, I think he's going to drag him to Patty's Pub in It's Always Sunny. They're going to fight there. They should have him on the show. That would be a way. That would be something to do.
I don't know if those guys would lower themselves to be on a TNA.
Well, that's very true. I don't know. Danny DeVito, he looks like he'd be the kind of guy that would hang around TNA
I think
guys.
Danny DeVito.
His character.
Well, wasn't Danny DeVito Rhino in ECW?
Looks like he could be Rhino's father. Knockouts, who cares? Triple Threat, Samoa Fat Joe, Crimson, and Matt Morgan, who
Sloppy
cares?
Joe.
X Division, Austin Aries and Brian Kendrick. I know you like Kendrick. I don't care for Austin Aries. He's terrible. His gimmick is he comes off as a guy that has no charisma, that acts like he knows what he's doing.
I don't mind Austin Aries. He's alright. I liked his older gimmick, which was the kind of Superstar Billy Graham, Macho Man mix thing.
Austin Starr, when he was Austin Starr.
I like that gimmick way better.
I mean Kendrick. I think we both would agree that Kendrick should be the guy to win. But and then we got
it's pretty much an ROH match.
And then we got I Quit between AJ and Chris Daniels over no reason whatsoever. Remember, they started fighting because they're upset at AJ's upset at Daniels, and Daniels upset at AJ, and stupid fortune stuff.
I think they should both quit. Just save us the $40 and just both quit. Plus, isn't this the pay-per-view that they're doing in the theaters?
Yeah, it's the one they're doing in the theaters.
Good luck.
Well, good luck finding a theater is I think more. And how much was it to get into the theaters? Do you remember?
$15 per person. And when I looked it up, we live in Maryland. When I looked it up, Maryland was listed on the list, but when it had the actual list for the theaters in the different states, Maryland was not even on the list.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. The last match they actually call this the main event. They're actually saying that Hogan Sting isn't the main event. It's Bobby Roode versus Kurt Angle, and Angle's the champion, right?
I think.
Yeah, he's got to be. Yeah, it's Bobby Roode. I think Roode might win.
I hope Roode does. I think he deserves it. He's one of the guys that's been there pretty much from the beginning.
He's been there for a while, not beginning, but he's been there for a while. He's in Team Canada.
At least the beginning.
He's not in the weekly pay-per-views.
No, but he was there from the beginning of their
Fox Sports. Yeah, he's there with Scott D'Amore, Pete Williams, when those guys
real
were
TV
together.
deal. I think he deserves it. You know, he's been around a long time. Hopefully, if he wins it, they let him keep the belt for a while and not just be a transition champion because the guy.
Everyone's a transition champion in TNA, really. I think he's going to win it too.
Sad that Christian Cage held the title longer in TNA than he did in WWE, but
that's kind of odd to say in general. On to just some other random news going on right now. Road Dogg is now a agent / producer in WWE. We talked about him recently. I talked about him. I think it was episode 2. I like the guy. I think he's got a lot to give to the younger guys. I don't know if you have any opinion or anything on it.
I mean, like
drugs? All those
drug-wise?
No, he's clean now.
Got a lot to give.
He's clean now. So, well, speaking of drugs, Tyson Tomko, or Travis Tomko, I think he's went by that name before, got arrested for allegedly going into a CVS and threatening the pharmacist for oxycodone. So, speaking of, hard times, I guess, for some ex-WWE guys. I mean, how sad is it, though? That,
TNA.
Yeah, how sad is it, though, that we have all... Yeah, he was in TNA for a while, right? I mean, how sad is it, though, to think that we have all these wrestlers, all these terrible drug problems? And you got to think, he wrestled during the drug... He would have had to have been there during the drug time, right? The drug policies. He had to be in WWE during that time.
It would have been...
Post Guerrero.
It wasn't the
Eddie
big
Guerrero.
push that it is now, but he was there around kind of the middle where they were kind of lax on the
You gotta wonder,
because Brian Kendrick wrestled. He used to get fined $1,000 a week
for smoking pot,
and he said he didn't care.
They just keep paying it and keep wrestling. He didn't care.
So how legit was that drug testing policy at the time?
That's true.
Plus,
it was legit, but he
also Steiner, when he was there,
said he did roids all the time.
But when he was there, every time they told him that the drug test was coming up, he all of a sudden had an injury.
That's it. Yeah, he would just not show because he'd find out.
It seemed like Triple H was always out on injury every time they did those two.
So besides that,
Angle also.
I think we should get to the other news that has been big this week: the travesty that was known as Raw. I can't believe we went this far without talking about probably the worst Raw since Triple H's heyday, when he was just a world champion, just murdering
it started out with
guys.
potential.
Oh, that was great. That first 10 minutes,
which should have been that first 10 minutes should have been maybe the first half.
I think it should have been at least the first hour, and then they should have just slowly went through everything.
Yeah, that was way more interesting. It's the first time that I can remember, other than that one night that the power went out.
Yeah, that was great.
And they didn't have the pyros and the intros till later. But there was no music. There was no pyro, yet everybody had their entrance music in the videos.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Another one of those where everybody walked out, yet there were cameras. Somebody was playing the entrance videos.
There was a few cameramen. They left last week. I guess their vote of confidence was like, I think he's a good guy. We'll go ahead and come back.
I mean, somebody obviously was there doing something. So
yeah, I mean, they could have done it. I know that there's a certain amount you got to do to make it a production, but they could have done it less. You're right. They should have had no pyro. They should just walk to the ring. Or not pyro, I mean music. And did they have the video?
Yeah,
the Titantron video?
They had the video.
They should have had that. They should just walk to the ring with nothing whatsoever. I know that it's the idea of getting a reaction, but that's the point.
Well, technically...
It's Cena and those guys. They're going to get reactions when they come out regardless.
Technically, if you think about it, if everybody left, the ring wouldn't have been set up. There would have been no lighting.
Maybe they paid... It'd be interesting. They could have just said it. They got
Triple H
hired guys.
Day before.
No, Triple H hired guys to do it. The jobbers they always have these security guys and crap like that. But throughout the rest of the night, Raw's rating just went down and down and down. I mean, I hated how they just abruptly ended matches. Like Vince McMahon coming in out of nowhere during that match and relieving Triple H of his duties. And the match just stopped. Because I like the idea of Sheamus and Cena were like, let's wrestle.
There were two matches that happened that way.
Yep. The other one was when Ross got fired between the Divas match.
Well, also the end where Laurinaitis came out and all of a sudden made it a tag match.
Oh, yeah. What the heck? What the heck? It was...
But at least they got to finish their match.
I know.
2 of the matches that were interrupted never finished.
No.
And that's kind of a slap at your talent, being like, well, you're not good enough to even be on TV. Go back into the back, and we're going to talk now. We're going to steal the spotlight.
I also like the
other thing
John Morrison and Christian fighting in their street clothes.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
I mean, I guess the idea was that we aren't going to give them time because they were out protesting, but it was so stupid looking.
The other thing...
I mean, if they built it up and did it in a certain way, it'd be okay, but it was just out of nowhere, it's thrown, like, oh, you go in the ring.
The other thing I don't like is I understand that Cena's a face, and they're going to give him a lot of time. I hate the whole idea that Cena is like constantly the good guy in every scenario. You could come out and you could talk trash about Cena's dad, and he's going to be like, well, that's your opinion, and it's cool with me. He had to come out and talk about how he stood by Triple H, and he's constantly, every time, has to be the good guy. No matter what you do to Cena or what
Sheamus
you do
did the
to
same
anybody.
thing. Sheamus is kind of like that now.
Yeah, but Sheamus has...
At least he came out and said that he got a good arse kicking from Triple H.
Well, obviously, I mean, it's obvious that Sheamus is one of his favorite wrestlers was Triple H.
Well, Sheamus works out with him and stuff. I mean, he's like, that's why he's had the championship at least that one time, the first time he got it.
But Cena, I mean, it could be anybody. There could be a fan that jumps into the ring, and he's going to be like, hey, leave this guy alone. He's just constantly got to be the good guy in every situation.
Well, that's what he is. I mean, if they at least let him show some vulnerability, would be good. But I mean, Raw was terrible. By the end of the night, it was the worst Raw I think I've seen in a while because it had all this potential, which probably made it worse. All this potential, like CM Punk had to hit the ring bell, and just like all this stupid stuff.
Which was funny because
great.
he had to ask the fans how to do it because he didn't even know how to.
Yeah, see, exactly. I like that, and then I like that Triple H had to be the ref, and that Sheamus and Cena, even though they're like the biggest faces almost now on both shows, like I think Orton in a lot of ways is taking a backseat to Sheamus because they've properly built up Sheamus and let him not have the title and be near the title, and let him work his way back up, and like they're like. Hell with it. We'll wrestle. Why not?
Well, let's talk about the Jim Ross firing.
Oh, gosh.
They did it in his hometown.
With his wife in the audience.
They didn't even tell him they were going to do it.
Yeah.
There was not really much of a point. The only thing I get out of it is Laurinaitis is the acting, which, again...
Interim.
He's the interim.
Wording.
Which, again, what happened to the guest GM?
He should have been the
anonymous
GM.
GM.
Anonymous GM.
Well, the other thing is they could always turn it and say Laurinaitis was the anonymous GM the whole time. Or the new GM, which in my opinion I think it's going to be Foley, which they could also say he was the anonymous GM. But if it is Foley, it's his first day back, his first thing to do will hire Jim Ross back.
They're taping Raw this weekend in Mexico City. Supposedly I heard that Ross was there.
Yeah.
Is there? I don't know if they're filming it today or maybe it's tomorrow afternoon or something.
The rumor on that is that he is going to get FaceTime. He's either going to come out and apologize or he's going to confront Laurinaitis.
Super Dave Osborne. I still can't get over when you said that because I think about that now.
In JBL's body.
Yeah, because he does look like a lot like JBL, especially when he was JBL. Yeah,
I think it goes back to the whole thing we talked about where Laurinaitis, the whole thing is not a planned word to say coup against Triple H with Vince. It's him and Vince been pulling the strings.
Right.
It's going to lead to what ultimately I think it sounds like a terrible idea, Triple H versus Laurinaitis, because what I took from it is by the end of the night Triple H was back to being a wrestler.
I assume that's what it meant when he came out, I guess. I mean, I guess he's still part of WWE technically. It wasn't like, they just relieved him of his duties as COO.
I did like the thing that he said about he's had better match. He thought he could have a better match with a broom than half the guys that he's wrestled there, and he beat most of them in the parking lot. Like, those were pretty funny comments.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope it just gets better. Have they taped in Mexico City before? Have they done a Raw in Mexico City before?
I think they did last year.
Did they? I know they did like Japan and England.
Do you remember Mysterio was actually out on an injury and he came back and did one show?
I might have missed it.
And that was I think that was the one they did in Mexico City.
Huh.
Which, coincidentally, he's injured again.
Sin Cara back? Is Sin Cara wrestling this week on Raw? I bet she is.
1 or 2.
Probably both.
Both.
I'm sure both of them are going to fight. You would think so, logically. Del Rio's there. That's obvious.
Somebody should do a video of the two Sin Caras and play double vision while the YouTube. There's an idea.
So, I guess we have nothing else to talk about except for our top 5 of the week.
I guess I go
We should
first
grab
this
our
week.
trusty keepers.
Our wrists.
Alright, go ahead. Which number 5?
I decided to do something different, something that we hadn't done yet, and put a diva on the top 5.
Or,
I'm sorry, a knockout.
Knockout.
On the top 5. I put winner. Just
I
because
was thinking winner.
Not only do I think she's the most attractive knockout they have right now, but I actually really enjoy the storyline. Outside of Brian Kendrick, the other thing that holds my interest in Impact is the storyline with her and Angelina Love. I think it's a very interesting storyline, and I'm glad that they've drug it out as long as they have.
Right. Mine's CM Punk. Just for the week, I think some people are having problems with him teaming with Triple H at the end, but I don't think
I'd rather see him team with Triple H than Cena because.
Well, they're not teaming though. It'd be the same way if Punk and Cena team together right now though. They're not teaming because they're BFFs. They have to. That's the idea, and I kind of like that. That's fine with me. Punk at the start of Raw made Raw.
Oh, he had my favorite line of the night when he referred to the guys as hippies.
Oh, yes. The hippies, yeah, out there and they're, protesting.
He had, I forget, cooking tofu, I think he said. Yeah, that was the quote of the night.
Your number 4.
DDP.
DDP. Mine is... Actually, I'm making a last-minute substitution.
No, dude, that is not allowed.
No. I haven't said it. I haven't said it.
It is written in stone.
No, I haven't said... No, these are not the commandments. I had Del Rio, but I'm switching out. It's going to be Michael Cole.
Wow.
Michael Cole.
If I had to choose between the two, it would probably be Michael Cole over Del Rio.
He turned heel again. Like, full-blown heel in everything, I think,
I don't think
on
he
Raw.
turned heel again. He really...
I don't think he was heel there for a while. Just because he liked The Miz. Lawler played neutral for a while, but still liked a couple of the heels. But that doesn't mean that you're a heel. Cole just flat out became, when Triple H got fired, he yelled, I'm better than Gandhi, and that made it. That made it. When he yelled that was the greatest thing. And your number 4 is DDP?
Yeah.
And what is that for?
Probably most people aren't familiar. There was another independent pay-per-view that happened over the weekend, a company named AWE, and DDP was Kevin Nash's mystery partner against the Midnight Express. Which, it was interesting, the fact that DDP got in the ring, being that he's got to be
around 60, something like that.
Now, he's definitely in better shape than Flair and Hogan, so...
Well, speaking of, they had another old man on that.
Funk?
Yeah, the oldest man alive, I think, that wrestles.
Well, he's got to be younger than Gypsy Joe.
I don't count Gypsy Joe. No one should count Gypsy Joe. So, number 3?
My number 3, Robert Roode.
Triple H. Robert Roode,
Triple H?
Triple H?
Just because he's getting the title shot, and I think it's well-deserved. Anytime that one of their... won't say original, but a guy that's been there for a really long time.
He's original in the sense, though, that he's not like a WWE established guy. So you can call them that.
Being that he's an original and he's never had a title shot, well, not a singles title, I think it's well deserved, and I hope that he wins the match, and I hope he keeps the title for a while.
Yeah, Triple H obviously, just. I think it was because the end of Raw, I liked that he came out and was like, I don't care, I'm going to help, save the day kind of thing. And I guess because it was like, he went from being the opposite character, even though he did attack, was it R-Truth and Miz at that pay-per-view, even though he was supposed to be CEO. I guess I just kind of liked it, and I guess maybe I haven't seen Triple H in a little while wrestle, so
that pretty much shows that Laurinaitis is pulling the strings, because why would you hire back the two guys that everybody were complaining about? The whole reason people felt that they were in danger was because R-Truth and Miz were attacking people, and one of the first things Larry Nice does is hire them back. It pretty much shows.
Well, they said they were sorry, Nick. They said they were sorry.
Jim Ross said he was sorry too, and he didn't get his job back.
But that's because he was a backstabber. That's what Johnny Ace said. So what's your number 2?
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Okay, my number 2 is Miz. Just I like seeing Miz back. It's not that it was gone. It was just. I like just seeing Miz. He's
that
good
whole
entertainment.
1 week that.
A couple weeks.
No, it was one. They showed the YouTube video, and that was pretty good with them.
Oh, I see you're counting. Okay. And your number 2 was CM Punk. Same reason as mine, I assume?
Well, he's on the list back and forth. But mostly, like I said, he had what I think is the line of the night from Raw.
And your number 1?
Jim Ross.
Jim Ross. Okay. And my number 1's R-Truth. So what's Ross? Why Ross?
Just because of the fact that WWE screwed him over so many times. This isn't the first time he's been fired or traded to another show without being told.
No, yeah, when he got traded to SmackDown.
I think WWE kind of kicks him around. He's like their old dog, which the guy, you know, granted, he's done a lot of terrible things, but who in wrestling hasn't? The guy's been around so long, you know, he refers to Gordon Soley all the time, and a lot, for those people that aren't familiar with Gordon Soley, he was an announcer for years in all of the different leagues. Ross is kind of the same way. Ross has been, you know, in almost all the leagues as a commentator. The guy's been around, knows his stuff, deserves respect.
Makes sense. My number 1, R-Truth, because of the song.
R-Truth, D-Truth.
Because the song he sang, the remix that he had when he came down.
That you suck?
Yeah. Well, like, it was perfect, you know. And like you said, of course Johnny Ace had to be in on it if he hired those guys back.
No, Laryngitis.
Laryngitis, whatever, I don't care. He's terrible. Johnny Ace is actually kind of a cooler name for his, like, as this character as he is now. So, they can pretty much switch over that. Like, he could be a heel, be like, oh, call me Johnny Ace, you know. So, R-Truth coming out, and with Miz, and he was just laying it down, and you know, the fans are eating it up, because, like, you know, all the stuff that they did, and they effectively got Triple H fired. So he's just out there singing that song and like the "You Suck" stuff. It was just, it was brilliant. So
I liked it.
Yeah. So all the little Jimmies out there, you know, I'm sure that they really enjoyed seeing R-Truth back on their screen with the Miz. So I guess that wraps up this week. Stay tuned to WrestlingRingPost.com. There will be more information, especially this week. I think there's going to be a lot more than there usually has been. So just check us out.
We also have a Halloween special.
Yeah, Halloween special. It's going to be filmed soon. We'll still do our normal weeklies, but we're going to do a Halloween special. It's going to cover Halloween Havoc, our memories, just talking about all the goofy stuff that was on Halloween Havoc.
I think our top 5 will be the worst costume gimmicks.
Yes, like costume, not just a normal wrestler, but it has to be in like a costume, like something like just outrageous that shouldn't be existing in wrestling and in any shape, form, or world. So, because some of these people probably aren't going to be from this world.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sure one of us can dig up a space alien if we find one on Google, an alien, space alien wrestler.
At one point, there was supposed to be one in ECW.
Well, it was supposed to be the zombies character was originally going to be the alien, because it was on Sci-Fi.
Lasertron, was he one of their future characters, or was he an alien?
I think he was future. Terrible. Lasertron?
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, just stay tuned to WrestlingRingPost.com. We'll have more information. Take care, guys.